Let's face it, relationships can be hard. I'm going to share with you a technique related to communication that I found useful in navigating these difficult waters. It's called upstairs, downstairs. Picture a house, a two-story house. It has an upstairs, it has a downstairs. Let's associate the upstairs with communication that has to do with facts, things like physical objects, times, places, activities, and so forth. For example, I picked up the dry cleaning today, or the bathroom faucet is leaky, or let's go for a walk. Let's associate the downstairs with communication that has more to do with feelings, motivations, and emotions. For example, that makes me feel uncomfortable, or I feel kind of down, or I love you. The first aspect of this technique is to learn to recognize when communication is more closely associated with upstairs, that is, with factual things, or with downstairs, that is, the emotional side of things. Where I'm going with this is that even though both of these levels are important, sometimes there can be a mismatch, and you could be talking at one level when you really should be talking at another level. For example, suppose a person is upset about something, but either he or she or his or her partner is talking upstairs when perhaps they really should be talking downstairs. If this can lead to frustration on both parties if they don't address the emotional side of things. Let's look at an example. Ted and Alice have two small children, Davy and Cindy. Ted comes home from work one day and says to Alice, "Hi, hon, how was your day?" And Alice responds, "Oh, Davy was a nightmare. He got into the cereal and spilled it all over the floor and then started stomping on it." Ted, "Oh, well, maybe I could install those child-proof latches so that they can't get into the cupboards." Alice, "Yeah, and while I was cleaning up the cereal, Cindy got into my lipstick and started drawing all over the bathroom walls. And I couldn't put him down for a nap. I'm so tired." You see what's going on here? Alice is talking both upstairs and downstairs. Upstairs things having to do with what the kids actually did, and downstairs having to do with how she feels about it. But Ted, even though he probably understands her feelings, is talking upstairs and giving suggestions that, even though are good suggestions, it's probably not the right time. If Ted were instead to encourage Alice to talk downstairs, first acknowledge her feelings and let her continue until she feels that she's expressed herself, then perhaps they could move upstairs and talk more about the practical solutions. If both sides of a couple are familiar with this analogy and technique, it can be useful in that they can use some shorthand communication to help keep their communication more focused. For example, if one person is kind of bouncing between upstairs and downstairs, the other person recognizing this could say something like, "Oh, you know, we're kind of bouncing between upstairs and downstairs. Maybe we should slow down and focus on the downstairs first." Or, suppose you're feeling upset about something, but your partner is trying to talk upstairs. Perhaps you could first acknowledge what he or she is saying, and then say something like, "Could we talk downstairs for a few minutes?" What you'll probably find is that if you can address the downstairs emotional issues, you might find that naturally the conversation will proceed upstairs, and you can deal with the practical things. Notice my little if clause there. If you can successfully deal with the downstairs issues. This indeed is the hard part, and sometimes your downstairs communication will not go as well as you would like. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to go into this into any detail other than to suggest you try to use principles of good communication. That is, try to be nice, try to be honest, and try to be constructive in your intent in talking downstairs. There's so much more that could be said, but this simple technique of recognizing upstairs and downstairs communication can help you interact more successfully with your partner and also with other people. Thank you.